Welcome to the Chaffee Art Center, and it's all about the arts. With me today is Stephanie Wilson, my friend. We've been friends for a really long time, so she's here with me to talk about the Chaffee, and Luigi, of course. Many people know Luigi. We'll see if he doesn't jump up on the table while we're talking stuff.
He tried a couple times.
There's so much going on that we keep talking about having a guest, other than my co-person here. But I don't know if we could ever get to the guest because there's so much, to talk about.
You know, you have so much going on, and it seems like more and more all the time. And I always find myself wondering, how do you come up with all these great ideas to keep members of our community, really of all ages, engaged? And I say that because, as you know, I have a young daughter who has been coming here for a long time, enjoying things. But I also find myself liking to participate. My son is involved here, so you
I know
really do
it's really
you have something for everyone, and it sounds like such a cliche, but in your case here at the Chaffee, it's actually quite true.
Well, being that we're the community arts center, so I feel the importance of the Chaffee and is that we involve the community, so that we have free workshops when we can. We are a nonprofit, non-endowed arts center, so we have to, think about the ways that we can bring income in. But we do every month, and we've been doing this since October, we have a free workshop with the life intervention team. So like the one that's coming up is April 15th, and we were just talking about that before because it's a really cool one that they put together with creating your own spring tree.
Oh, it is so adorable, and I can just picture it looks so cute on a little table somewhere.
Yes,
and
yes.
You find yourself between seasons, and you're like, how
it's
do
really
I
hard.
decorate?
Mm-hmm.
What do I do to make my house a little more lively and friendly and warm? And this little tree is
it's adorable.
You have to go on the website and
yes. So it's free, and it's it's April 15th. And it's from 11 to 2 at the Chaffee. Karen Worcester, she's great. I told her I want some of these without buds on them because I want to put them out in our urns out front. Because like you said, how do you make it look festive and fun?
Yes.
I am working on.
You get to pick your color schemes, place the blossoms on the branches, and watch it bloom. I love that.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. Now, when it says it's 11 to 2, is that sort of
anytime in between,
that time, as long as you're there early enough to start.
Right. So plan 1:30 at the latest getting to the Chaffee so that you can finish it by around 2 o'clock. That
would be fun, and that is definitely on our calendar.
And then, like you were saying, we try to do classes for that appeal to a variety of people, for youth and adults. And if anybody has something that they would like us to offer, please reach out and let us know that. But every month we do a watercolor, sip-a-dip, figure drawing, book group, ukulele now. Actually, Stephen, her son, it's not a class, it's more fun. You drop in on Thursdays at 12 for an hour, and he kind of facilitates the whole group. And it's really fun. My dad comes.
I love your dad.
Yeah.
So much your dad too.
So, and it's just fun, and it's free. They do meditation as well. And for the young people, we have drawing and painting, and we do this free Friday class for ages 3 to 5 that we've been working with the Rutland Free Library to give out a book. And it's just having fun. You read the book, you might paint, you might do finger painting, you might, all different types of the arts,
that
music,
group,
singing.
In school yet, and maybe they have a little bit of preschool, but they also have unstructured time in their day. And moms and dads are like, this would be great to keep them busy and
homeschool,
active.
Because it goes to the 5. But we also, the classes that we do for the young people is usually in the afternoon for the ones that are in school. But we hope that the homeschool group also, homeschool groups, I should say, take advantage of that as well. So currently in the Chaffee, we're a mess today, but we're not open to the public, thankfully, because we are a rental venue as well. And we had a wonderful shower here a few days ago.
A baby shower or a bridal shower?
It was a bridal shower, surprise bridal shower. And so, yes, I have to put everything away.
And you've had weddings here, birthday parties from
Yeah, Catherine's,
parties,
her daughter's party.
Yes.
Retirement,
You name it, right?
yes, it could be, like, we have one coming up that's a thank you to some sponsors of another nonprofit. Yes, and we have quite a few bridals and that we've got planned, and we have memorials for like Susan Farrow, who was a wonderful, she was a director of the Chaffee years ago. And so I'm so happy that her family's having her memorial here. Yeah, so some people even do, instead of just, let's say you're renting the Chaffee to have a bridal shower or a birthday or a bachelorette party or what's the guy called? Stag party, there you go. You can have any of those if you want. But anyway, some people just also do maybe a private sip and dip or a private class.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so, and we've had, I don't know, 3 or 4 of those in the last couple of months. And it's just fun. You can tailor it to whatever anybody wants. I know, isn't he funny?
He's nodding off over there. I think we're boring him,
Yeah.
Sherri, but I'm not bored because I'm just thinking, good, we have some things to keep us busy throughout the spring, and then there's summer camps coming up.
Yes, we
Are
have.
so much fun.
Yeah, we have a lot of summer camps planned. I think 13 of them actually.
And parents are planning for these right now. I know.
They've been
March
asking me.
used to be the time. Starting in March
Yes.
is when people start looking. I've had friends asking me, what are you doing with Catherine? We're thinking about this, and I every time say to them, go on and look and see what Chaffee
Thank
has
you.
available, because that could really help you fill out your schedule. And
Yes.
and then people can do all kinds of things. They can do recreation activities,
Yeah.
and things
Right.
with the schools, but they can also come here and
Right.
do some really
Exactly.
creative things.
Yeah, there's lots of opportunities in the community, which is so wonderful. I mean, we've got, Wonder Feet moving into their new space.
Right.
The Rutland Free Library. Like I said, there's wonderful, wonderful things. But and here at the Chaffee, we try to also complement that. So we have different types. There's cooking you can do, and that will be actually at another location at the Clucking Cafe, which is kind of fun for people. And there's ukulele, there's lots of art, so you could be creating, and yes, and we have our 100-foot pollinator garden out there, and everybody will be able to take advantage of that because we always have them go outside and run around and have fun and that kind of thing.
I love this idea too of the art of science, the idea of taking scientific principles and yet making artistic things that you can bring home.
Right.
I think a lot of kids
Right, and
would love
creating
that.
creating some things with science.
Yes.
And like I said, there's some that we have a musical theater one, which is a full day class in July. There's a big art, which is a mural we're going to be doing. There's one that we're teaming up kind of with Wonder Feet in that in their new space, there's going to be a place where they want to feature certain things in certain times of the year. So we're going to be doing Rutland through your eyes. So it's Rutland through the young people through their eyes. And so it's going to be drawing and painting and that, and creating things that's going to be at Wonder Feet during our Art in the Park season, so August through the middle of October, because that's Art in the Park is
Right.
August and October. So that's fun. And, there's robots, creating them, and like I said, we have many. So, and they are all on our website, which I'm sure our wonderful person behind the camera, Jim Boughton, will be putting up
Thank you,
for you
Jim.
guys. So, Art in the Park, I was just wanting to mention, it's August 12th and 13th and October 7th and 8th. This is our 67th annual, which, yeah, I know, I'm so proud of that. We're Vermont's oldest continuing arts tradition, and we're accepting applications. That's all on the website as well as how to apply, or, you can call the Chaffee. I had somebody call on Sunday. My cell phone's everywhere. And you know, we encourage people, obviously, to come and, you know, plan to come to it, but also we're accepting applications for people to vend at it.
And that's something maybe we could talk about for a minute, because someone might be out there and think, I'm not an artist. You know what I mean? But you have all kinds of things at Art in the Park where I even think, oh, that didn't occur to me that might be here.
Right,
So there's
right.
just, you know, things that you make, but it's not necessarily what people always think of, which is painting and sculpting and things of that nature. So
Yeah, we've had henna every year. She's come and she's done her wonderful art, you know, henna. And I mean, there's lots of categories, like, you know, the art category, which everybody understands, fine art, and
there's
photography,
soap
and
candles
yep, exactly.
fudge,
Clay and specialty foods, yep, maple
wood
products,
carving, and yeah, we've brought
cutting
home,
boards.
Fairy houses. We
Fairy
brought home
houses.
Fairy houses for our
Yes,
garden.
yes, yes, and bird houses, those go out
Yes.
like crazy.
I took a young friend of my son's to Art in the Park, or told her about it, and we met up, and she had this big bag by the end, and she had a birthday gift for her father. She had a wedding gift for a wedding that was coming up, and she thanked me for suggesting it. And I said, "Don't thank me. Look at all the talent around here." And
I just had a flashback, Steph, of you and I talking about this, because this is my 41st Art in the Park that I'm coordinating, and you and I used to do this way back, 2010 and before, and you would talk about getting art for your new home, or for your home.
yeah, you know, we bought our first house in 1997 when we were engaged.
And I kind of remember you talking about,
Yes, yeah, and to this day, I still have areas that I look at and I think, I'm gonna wait until the right thing. Don't you know how that feeling? And you just see something and you think
that's perfect.
that's it. And I'm not the person who's gonna go out to a big box store and fill in the blank wall or the little nook or the area on your table. I wait until inspiration strikes, and if that means that area stays blank for a while,
Then it stays blank.
for a while until I find the perfect.
You could always have
thing.
Catherine do like a mural or something on it. Here, Catherine.
Trying to teach my children
Not to draw on the walls.
We've had this problem in the past. Thank goodness for washable markers. Right? Yeah, but you're right. We have been talking about Chaffee for a long time, and Art in the Park for a long time, and I love looking around, which is now my third home, and we like to say our last. We'll die here. But I like to look around and think, hey, I got that at Art in the Park, or I got that off the wall at the Chaffee, or
right, or who the artist was.
Right, I found this sweet older lady. Remind me of her name. Right up the road.
Ann McFerrin.
Yes, Ann McFerrin. I have a few of her pieces.
Yeah,
in my house.
Anne's wonderful. She's
her style.
been involved with the Chaffee probably close to the time the Chaffee began, which was in 1961.
And she still creates.
She still creates.
Beautiful.
It is. I mean, we have pieces in here now during this exhibit, which is a great segue to the exhibit that we have happening.
Yes.
We are celebrating the maple industry.
One of my
and maple
favorite
sugaring.
industries.
Me too. I'm like
the candy, the syrup, the maple butter, everything.
one of the people. So we worked with the Rutland County maple producers, which at the fair, when you go to the sugar house. They built that sugar house many, many years ago, and it's been, and that's all in here. Like there's information about that. But Stephen Baker's his name, and he is, he's on the board of. Anyway, he's one of the officers in this maple producers. Okay, so we went through. It was very cold. It was very fun though. We got to go to the sugar house at the fair, and I got to take a whole bunch of stuff, like or actually I pointed to it, and he got it later of what we wanted.
Is there anybody there to make you maple creamies? Because
you just wait. Let me tell you the story. So when we had been talking ahead of time, I was like, oh, I love syrup, because my dad would do it. He's 82 now, and he wants to do it next year, but he wasn't prepared to do it this year. Okay. So, and I'll drink it. Like, that's how much I like it.
Yes.
So he gave me a quart of his syrup. So then we go into the sugar house and, we're looking around everything. At the end, he says, hey, do you want a couple of pints of maple creamy? Oh, that is my absolute favorite. I go to the fair for the maple creamy.
I do too.
So what they do.
I will pay admission just to get the maple. Jim's behind the camera, thumbs up and nodding his head. I think all around Rutland County, we're all going, yes, the maple creamy. So
what they do, which, it took them a while to figure this out, but I guess they've been doing this, for a while. But at the end of the night, they put it in pints and freeze it. Yeah, so I hope I'm not telling too many stories, maple producers, but oh my gosh, was it awesome? And then I put the syrup over the maple creamy.
That's gilding the lily a little bit.
It was so good.
I don't want to, put anybody down, but those little, gas stations and stuff, and they put the maple creamy signs out in front. It's not the same. The best ones are the ones at the fair.
Yeah.
Go to the fair or go directly to the people who make the syrup, and somehow they're delightful selling those creams.
And then, on the wall in the Chaffee, so you have to come because I don't remember all these things, but I want to think that somebody here's the one that did the first maple creamy. It's on the wall over by the display of what isn't syrup and what is syrup. So you should come in. People should come in just to see and it tells about that the sugar house at the fair and all the things that happened with it. But we also have walls of the Rutland Historical Society. They gave us some old pictures. We're talking old pictures. The people that are doing the sugaring with these big open fire outside, the big
kettles.
Yeah, I was gonna say cauldron, the big kettle. I'm looking at what they're wearing, and it was almost like nice pants, and I'm thinking, but that was right now. Yeah, exactly. So, and there's a lot of the horses. There's horses and the old. Yeah, so you should definitely come. I mean, we have 2 walls full of those from the Rutland Historical Society, which I'm very thankful that they could do that for us. And then we have a display of all kinds of old maple cans, how they started and what it's kind of developed into.
It's amazing what a modern industry it is now. We were driving through Shrewsbury the other day, and there were so many of those all the tubing going through the woods,
Right.
and not the little buckets.
It's true, and we have a little display of what the buckets, if you use them now, are supposed to be, which is like a plastic version, not the metal version, and a bunch of the tubing and the machine that cuts the tubing and puts them together. So we have that here too. It's obviously we don't have, I wanted to try to get an evaporator in here or something, but that didn't work. They're huge. They're huge.
Outside.
I know, right?
Out in the pollinator garden.
I tried that, but
You did try.
we were working on that. But it just gives you an idea. And Vermont is the top producer of maple sugar, maple syrup. So that's something for us to be really proud of.
Absolutely.
You know
what's a good idea about that exhibit? Not only how well it represents Vermont, but it might get some people into the Chaffee who haven't come before.
True.
Because
True.
if
Yeah.
you have a subject that just seems really
Relatable and
to
yeah,
everyone.
and it's something that we should celebrate, which is what I'm trying to do every so often is have something that it's important for us to recognize or
Yes.
remember or acknowledge.
Right.
But also we have Damien, which behind me is her name, which is, I think it's Trusnovec is how you pronounce it, and I'm sorry if I mispronounce it, Damien. But she has a solo gallery. That's the one that we're in right now with our over 125-year-old cactus beside us. Her photography is beautiful. She lives in Long Island, but they have a house in Vermont, so she goes back and forth, and her partner's more in Vermont. And then we also have, like you said, Ann McFerrin, Sal Vitigliano, Al Wilkinson, Arlene O'Connor. I mean, just keep going, right? We have work of theirs. We have one gallery that's just maple sugaring themed, and then we have work throughout the mansion upstairs and downstairs. We also have our gallery shop, which you need to come because I've been working really hard trying to change it up and make it better and add things to it. We've got maple products now. So we have syrup and we have habanero. Did I say that right?
Yes, habanero.
Maple jelly. We have maple jelly. We have maple cream. So we've got that happening, and like I said, we've kind of tried to add to it, and I'm going to keep adding to it because it's really, they're all artisans that have their work in the shop, as well as who exhibits. So you get a piece of someone's heart in a way of their work. So we hope that people can come and look around.
Yeah, and think about it too. Anytime you have a little gift giving occasion, or even something like a teacher gift, why not something that's unique and made around here and just kind
That's what I always say.
but also affordable.
I say that too about our cards. They're $3 to $5.25.
Yeah.
But they're made by a person,
Right.
not a machine. And
I bought some at Art in the Park, just some
right.
cards for birthdays.
Right, and there's cookie cutters, and there's there's small little quill paper. They're like snowflakes, or they could be clouds. It depends on how you look at them, but you can add them to something, or just take it home because they're so pretty. It's so pretty.
And you're starting to go into spring and after a long winter, and you just need a little joy in your life
It's
too,
true.
right? With
It's
this
true.
rebirth of seasons, and
Yeah.
you just need something to reflect that too. So sometimes you just want a little inspiration.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we also, just to mention, we've started having a hot beverage bar here. So there's on the days that we're open, there's coffee, tea, hot cocoa, depending on your season, and it'll change when it gets warmer. But when you come in, we also have a lending library, so you can people donate to us books, and we've had books here, and there's tons of books on like how-tos, like if you want to watercolor or drawing or oil. But there's also the Louvre. Famous artists.
So I noticed that upstairs outside of the classroom. So that's
so now we've got, and
relatively new thing.
we've making it larger. Now we have 2 bookshelves.
Oh wow!
And in the classroom, we have books that people can use when they're taking a class or to take it home, so they can perfect or work on what they want to work on.
Right, I noticed that, and I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if it was something I hadn't really noticed before.
Yes.
Or that's a wonderful resource.
But people can also just come and have, something hot to drink or not. And they can sit and they can, look at because we want people to come and use the Chaffee. This building is just magnificent. I mean, every time I come into the Chaffee, I feel so lucky that I get to be here. I mean, I love it at night when everybody's gone and lock the door and Luigi runs around. And it's just, but seriously, I do love it.
It feels like a home here, though. It really does. I think people would look at it from the outside and think that it looks
It's a museum.
massive and intimidating,
Yeah,
or whatever,
yeah.
or fancy or formal. And you come in,
And it's beautiful.
It's so beautiful, but yet it looks like a home that someone lived in, and you can still see evidence of
Right.
the people who lived here, the family who lived here.
Right. Exactly.
It just has
And that's
this feeling about it.
that's really important.
Welcoming.
I think, for us to remember, because George Thrall Chaffee, who had this, built and lived here, he was very important to the community, and he loved this home, and he loved the community, and he did many things. So we have 2 rooms upstairs that kind of take you back to the 1890s. We have the original bathroom, and then we also have a room that was Mrs. Chaffee's sitting room, which, it sort of looks like it was her sitting room, and it has historical things, like things from the Chaffee family.
It looks like maybe she just kind of stepped
Yeah.
back for a moment.
Yes. So that's really, I think that's important for us to preserve a piece of history as well.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and you can feel it in this place, and it really is just so welcoming. So if we were to go back, we have looks like a little bit of time left. If we were to go back to the top, as we work our way through the next month or so, what are some of the highlights that if someone is looking for fun and exciting things to do or things for their kids, and I know folks can go on the website obviously to get all the full details about registering, and
Right.
may I say as a parent that and as a person who has also participated in some of these things, that it's always affordable too. It's always,
We try really hard to,
Yeah.
to do that.
and some things are even flat out free.
Right.
And I always wonder, how is this free? This is such
I
a
know.
wonderful thing, and we have something to take home. But that's what's wonderful about Chaffee. It's not exclusive at all. It really is.
No,
meant for
right,
everybody
and
to
right,
have a
because
opportunity.
we should be doing things for the community, so we try when we can. I mean, we do things like, art education, you can learn different things about whether you're taking a class or whether you're just coming in and, experiencing the Chaffee, and like we said about the history and of the building and the times, and, and it's not, as you can probably understand, it's not like when things happen, which we're going to be, so people will be noticing this, we're going to be starting to work on the chimneys, because the chimneys should have been done many years ago, 10 or more years ago, and we're just working on grants right now for that, because it's just part of what happens when you own a home, any home, whether it's an older home, but for us, we have an easement, which means everything we do has to be historically accurate. And I don't know if people know that, but it's a really cool thing, but it also makes things a little harder when we do them.
More expensive.
And
let's
more
be honest.
expensive.
Yeah. Older homes, and especially when they're historic and they have to hold up to
Yes,
a certain
standard, right. You have to
Right.
use certain, mortar, certain brick, certain this, that, and the other.
Absolutely.
But we are committed to preserving, as well as, like I said, the arts education, collaborating with others in the community, offering things that people want to see. If there's people that would like to see workshops that we haven't mentioned, I mean, the Chaffee did receive a grant. It's not a huge grant, but I'd like to offer a few workshops. So, and maybe free. So, we welcome that.
I can't believe how fast the
I know,
time
it
went
does.
by today,
And
Sherri.
we were saving this until the end because both of us are probably going to get teary, but we wanted to, remember Helvi Abitel, who was a big part of what we did here. She did lots of things with classes for kids and adults and camps, and she was here a lot. She was an artist member. Her work was hanging here, and we're going to really miss her. She was a kind, loving soul. She and she was very talented, but her talents were often because she's not like a big out there person. She's more inside, but her talents were, I mean, she was amazing at like so many different, mediums and things like that. So we wanted to, just mention how wonderful Helvi was, and this is
Express our love for her
right,
and for her
right,
family.
and we really are going to miss her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me here today.
Yes,
Sherri.
thank you. Thank
And,
you.
I'll look forward to the next time that we get to talk all about the arts.
Yes. And we thank Jim too, and
you, Jim.
Luigi, and we hope you come visit us soon.